So today we're going to talk about the spreadsheet. To find the spreadsheet, go to the home page here. See where it says News. If it doesn't say Spreadsheet right here, just click the arrow till you find it. And you can go ahead and open it up, and it'll pull on an online Excel. It should look something like this. I'm going to just go ahead and use Excel, just because I'm used to it. And we'll go over some spreadsheet stuff here. Excuse me. So on the overview page, you're going to see everybody's team listed and how much cap they have available. You'll also see how much cap the entire league has right now, which is, I'm pretty sure, is a record amount right here. And this is the average amount everybody has. And over here we have the most recent standings. This is the conclusion of the 2018 season. There is a key for the spreadsheet, but we'll just go ahead and go through it on a team page. So, random team about Atlanta. So we're on Atlanta's page, and this is his revenue, his salary cap, how much money he has to spend. This is his cap space. It's actually how much is really available. And the stuff in the middle pulls data off different parts of the sheet to get us from here to here. The fines box, if you've had some compliance issues, you'll have fines here. No one's had a wager in a while. Team history, this is how the team has fared over the years. If you see a number in parentheses, that was a games penalty. If you see a WC, that team was one of the wild cards that year. Then if you see NE, so Breck was the National League East champion the last 2 seasons. I was the National League West champion the last 2 seasons. This guy got me in the division series both times. The curse of Breck. If you see LDS, that means you lost in the division series. LCS, you lost in the league championship series. That's the pennant. WS, you lost in the World Series. And CH is you were the champion. Then this column here for cap, that's end of season cap bonuses. They increase your team's permanent revenue. We'll come over here. We have our player column, column G. So we encourage all teams to audit their spreadsheet when you have an opportunity to. Spreadsheet's not perfect. There'll be mistakes on it. It's because people behind the spreadsheet are not perfect. But the standard is, it is what it is supposed to be. So if we find out that you don't actually own a player that the sheet says you has, or that it has the wrong salary or the wrong number of years of control, we correct it immediately upon finding out the error. And whatever the consequences of that is, well, it is what it is. So we strongly suggest you take the time at least once this off-season to audit the spreadsheet prior to the start of the season, so you don't get hit with like a cap bomb because you find out someone costs more than you thought he did or whatever. So, that said, the spreadsheet is the master. We assume that if the spreadsheet lists a player in the player column, you own him. And if you're going through your team forum and you're on your threads, and you see that you have a player listed on your thread that the spreadsheet does not list, you're going to want to find out why. Because if he's not on the spreadsheet, it's assumed you do not own the player. So we'll need to figure that out. Or alternatively, if the spreadsheet shows you owning a player you don't think you have, we'll need to figure that out too, because maybe you got another player coming your way. This column, column H with the money sign here, this actually, starting this season, is no longer necessary. So if you pull this video up and you look at the spreadsheet and the column's not there anymore, I had the time to take it down and redo the formulas. But all it's telling you is that the player's salary is being counted into the salary used. That's what the 1 means. If you see a 0 or no value, it's not being counted. So you see Josh Donaldson here, 24.6. If I make this a 0, now look at Breck's cap space. It went up. Let's make that a 1 again, so it's counting. Then in the current season column, we should have values. And you could also see things that say DP6, FA, I don't see any for Breck, or B/O, which are buyouts. You see a B/O, that year of the player was bought out. If that makes him a free agent, you don't get any discount there. If you see an FA, that is a veteran who's becoming a free agent. So for example, Josh Donaldson will have FA when 2021 is the current off season. DP6 means that this player just completed his DP sixth season, his 6th season of control here, And Breck will have the opportunity to claim, if Marcell Ozuna signs a contract by January 1st, 2019, this offseason, Breck will have the opportunity to claim that contract and keep the player in this league. If he does not sign a contract by that day, Marcell Ozuna will enter our free agency pool. You look up here at Joshua Fields. He's got the gray box with the slash under it. He's currently a DP6. So if he appears this year, the next offseason he's going to be DP6. That's how that works. Future seasons, you'll see percentages, this 80-100 thing. So if it's the same all the way across, like Donaldson, that's a veteran contract. Mr. Lamet here is currently a DP2. This is his DP3, 30%, 4, 40% DP5, 60, and his 6th year, 80-100. Most players in their 6th year will get 80% of performance modifiers. There's a separate video for this to explain how this works. But a few, pretty rare, will get 100%. You will also see some different colored text. Blue, these are options. Breck has until decision day, this January, to accept the option for Jose Quintana this year. If he declines the 2019 option, then he automatically will decline the 2020, and Quintana will enter free agency. If he accepts 2019, he doesn't have to make a decision on 2020 until next offseason. So that's what blue is. If you happen to see a green box, you'll only see green during the season. What that is that's a free agent, usually a prospect, that was signed during the season, and that's telling me in the off-season when I go to roll the sheet over not to put one of these free agency symbols next to him, but instead to check and see if that player triggered a contract and is now a DP. So that's what green boxes mean. You don't really have to worry about it. That's really just more for me for the off-season when I roll the sheet over. What else can I tell you? There's roll over here. We have the draft pick columns. During the season, you can trade the current and following draft picks. In the off season, when we open up trading, we also include this third season out. And the reason we do that is so you have some more draft picks to work with if you want to try and improve your 2018 or whatever the current season draft is. It gives you some more options for trades in the off season. Over here, we see Breck has some waiver fees. He actually bought out one of them. So if we check the records on the forum and it says that he should have a waiver fee through 2020, and I come up here and I see BO, I know he bought it out. So those feed into this box over here, waiver fees, and that's coming out against this number. Then we have our incoming payments, outgoing payments, net payments. For net payments, we take the incoming, subtract the outgoing. There's no limit in terms of value in the current season for how much you have coming in payments. You could have any amount of money coming in and any amount coming out. But there is limits to the actual number of physical payments. You can have 20 outgoing payments and 20 incoming payments. And then you'll see how we have net limits in future seasons. You could have 25 mil net coming in, 20 mil net going out next year, and then 10 and 10 going forward. So again, if you have 30 mil in 2020 incoming payments and 5 mil in 2020 outgoing payments, you're not going to qualify because, you will. You'll have 25 net, and that meets the incoming. I'll come back to the front. We have a couple more things here. These are kind of videos of themselves, but claim order you need to know. We use this for waivers, for in-season free agency, and really for most tiebreakers that do not involve the standings. And if you have the highest claim order of the teams involved in whatever the process is, you'll win the player, and then you come down here to 30th and you'll be on the bottom of the list. The date that you see, that's not actually the date those teams made the claim. That's the date I processed it on the sheet. And this was what the last transaction is. If you have multiple transactions on that day, I'm only going to put one of them here. And that's it. If you have any more questions about the spreadsheet, come see Greg and I on the forum. Hope you enjoyed the video.